Hi and welcome to this video log with me, Wayne, from swimmingcyclingrunning.com. Well, this video was brought about by someone who contacted me and asked if I might have a look at their fly to see what could be going wrong. And I thought it might be useful because she's exhibiting a lot of the problems that adult swimmers who come to fly exhibit, and curing these problems might help you too. Remember, if you're finding this video useful, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when we upload more videos. Also, give it a like if you find it particularly useful. Now, I'm always happy to review someone's videos. If you want me to do that, I would create a Dropbox for you. You'd put them in the Dropbox and I'd then review them, so long as I can use them in a video if I think they might be useful for other people. Now, fly is a difficult stroke. It's a difficult stroke to get right, especially for adults, because it flows. It's a natural movement, and if you haven't got that natural movement, adults tend to try and overthink it and try and place their body in the position that that natural movement should be in. Now, trying to place your body in something is very technical, but it just doesn't flow, and that's why butterfly looks like such a beautiful stroke when it's done properly. So let's go to the computer and have a look at the videos I was sent. So we're looking at Cinziana here, and she's just going to start. And notice she's just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 kicks and then a stroke. Now, when you're kicking at the beginning of a length, and you should be kicking at the beginning of a length, you should be under the water. Because what you want to do is you want to break surface tension, so effectively you should be about there as opposed to there. So you should be about, let's say we should be about half a metre to 3/4 of a metre under the surface, and if you're under the surface you're going to break surface tension, and you're going to you potentially can go faster than you can on the surface, but you cannot go fast on the surface because surface tension is just pulling you backwards. It's just getting around you and pulling you backwards here. So you really want to get below the surface when you push off from an end. You don't, if you're on the surface, your arms should be moving, you should be swimming. So let's take it on from here and look at the stroke. And we see the arms come out and go forward nicely. Yeah, she's clearing the water, but something looks slightly odd about the stroke. And as we go around the side, we'll see what I mean. You can see that she's struggling to lift her head and body out the water. The chin's in a reasonably nice position, but you can see that the position her body's in is absolutely vertical. Now, all that's going to do is create a huge amount of drag. So on every single stroke, she's actually slowing down. You see that? It slows down as she lifts her head to breathe. You can see her body coming up almost vertical and everything dropping down there. And as she goes down the length, she's having to lift her head further and further out the water. But the arms are coming out quite nicely. You can see the hands are pointing backwards, that's good, and the arms are coming forward. But as she gets more tired, it becomes more and more difficult to get the arms in prior to the head going in. So the head's falling in and the arms are just about clearing the water there. What we need to do is we need to get her as flat as when she's not taking a breath. So when she's not taking a breath, you can see the bum at the surface, and you can see a slight undulation there. The bum's not quite coming up far enough, but she's much more streamlined. So we've got to keep that streamlined position when she's actually taking a breath. And as we go slightly further forward, we see something else happening. And if we look here at the arm, we can see the elbow dropping down and pulling back. You can see that quite clearly there. And the elbow point is further illustrated in this underwater shot that I've got of Cinziana. You can see that her arms go in, but the elbows pull back and down, and so she's actually pushing down in the water. And from there, she's getting a good catch, but her arms are completely extended, which means she's putting a hell of a lot of strain on both of these shoulders there, the deltoid muscles. If your arm's straight and pulling back, that's really difficult to do. We also have knees that are slightly too far bent, so again we're creating drag in the body and effectively not being as fluid as we possibly could. So the arms are pulling back, And you can see that there. The elbows tuck in and pull back, and that means you're missing the catch. If you miss the catch, it's very difficult to follow through with a great stroke. But you can see when she's not taking a breath, those knees stay much closer to the surface. And that's what we want to get with Cynthiana overall in her stroke. Now when you do drills in fly, they have to be done as a fly drill. But it's very easy to slip from a fly drill into something else. We're watching Cynthiana do a drill here. Now notice there's very little undulation there, especially on the right hand side breathing. But we go to the left and we do have some slight more undulation. The bum's coming up much more. We really need that bum to come up, then the bum to go down. And the bum's not moving much there. She's also breathing in the wrong place. So effectively you want to breathe as your arm exits, because in fly that's exactly where, in fact in front crawl as well, that's exactly where you breathe, as the arm exits. But she's turning to breathe very early, so you've got to turn late when you're doing this drill. Then comes the arm. Now it starts off okay, but then it turns into a front crawl arm. And you can see the knees are over bending there. So we want to see a butterfly drill, but what we're seeing here is butterfly legs with a front crawl arm drill, and that's not quite hitting it. So let's get that improved, and we should be able to improve the overall fly experience. Now to keep your body on the surface in any stroke, you have to push your chest in the water. Now this is counterintuitive in butterfly, because what you're doing is your arms are coming in, and then as you come through you want to lift your head to breathe. Now as you lift your head, a lot of people lift that chest up. Well, that's actually an error. You want to keep that chest pressed in the water and just lift the chin up so you look forward, so the chin's just above the surface of the water. And by doing that, you'll actually have a much better action and your body will keep a lot flatter in the water. So let's have a look at what butterfly actually should really look like if it's done well. Let's take a look at this swimmer. He's going to do 9 fly kicks underwater, then come up into his stroke. And then we'll have a look. Okay, so when he comes up into his stroke, he's going to do a kick down and the arms come out the water, and then notice that his shoulders are rounding off. Effectively, we've got a rounding of the shoulders. Now that's going to do 2 things. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to point him in that direction. And the second thing it's going to do, it's going to bring his bum up to follow. And you can see that as he goes down, his bum comes up to follow. Hugely important in butterfly. You must not forget that you need to round those shoulders off in order to get your bum onto the surface. And then he's going to do a 2-beat kick. So it's kick the arms out, kick the arms in. And we can see that if we go back and just have a look at it in full flow. Kick, 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 kick. That's how it goes. Now we have a lower position. Let's have a look at the breathing on butterfly. Now let's take that back. From the arms in with the rolled shoulder forward, the bum goes up, the kick comes down, and notice the arms are going back and the head starts coming out the water. We actually breathe just before our arms exit. But what he's done, he's rolled his head effectively upwards. So he's rolled his head upwards to look forwards. And that's all he's done. He hasn't lifted his torso at all. You can see his torso is fairly flat. His head wants to get back into the water before his arms come past his shoulders. And that way he stays very close to the surface of the water. Look at his bum, how close it is to the surface, even when he's breathing. Let's take a look at the next breath. See, it comes up and breathes just before his arms exit. He's not breathing early. A lot of swimmers make the fault of breathing here. Well, that will just push your head out the water and lower your body. Here you're staying flat if you breathe there. Look forward, head back in, round the shoulders off, follow the arms in, and the bum comes up. That's the way the breathing should happen. And it's very smooth when you see it that way. So the basis of good butterfly is that 2-beat kick and pushing your chest in the water no matter what happens. And the easiest way to start doing that is with a kick drill. You put on some fins, you need fins for this, and you're going kick, 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 kick. And while you're doing that, your arms are going kick, 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 kick. And you're looking forward to breathe. So it's kick, 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 kick. And all you're doing is literally pushing your chin forward to breathe, but keeping your chest pressed in the water. That gets you used to just having your chin above the water. Now every time you kick forward, we want to see that roll of the shoulder and then up. Yeah, so it's roll, roll, up. You're getting that undulation going just from a kick drill. The more you do that, the more you'll get used to that undulation and that 2-beat kick. And that's the basis of good butterfly. Now the next drill that's really the basis of all drills is the single arm drill in fly. And the single arm drill is done with one arm out front and the other arm doing the fly drill. And what we want to see is you want to see the arm come over straight and into that nice catch position. In breathing for this, I prefer breathing to the side than breathing to the front. And the reason is, butterfly is difficult enough to get your head out when you've got two arms doing it. If you've only got one arm doing it, it becomes really difficult to look forward. So if you look sideways, you will keep that undulation going much better, and you'll get much more into the rhythm of butterfly so that you can swim it better later on. Okay, so apart from the overarm, let's have a look at the underwater section with this great video here. The single arm drill is the stalwart of butterfly drills. You should be doing it most of the time. It's easy because you have fins on. You should be breathing to the side on this, but let's just have a look. If you're bringing your arm over straight as a butterfly arm, not a front crawl arm, you can see it comes into the water virtually in the catch position, which means you can virtually instantly drive it back in the stroke. So let's just have a look at that. Drives it back, and breathes to the side. And you can see it coming again. It comes in almost in the catch position, drives back, and he breathes as the arm's exiting the water. Hugely important. Another thing to note is that rounded shoulder position. As his arm comes in, look at the shoulder round itself off. And that gives him, once again, that undulating motion, so good when it's done right in butterfly. Another drill that I absolutely love is the salmon drill. Now I've adapted this to my own purposes because a lot of people go really deep when they're doing it, and I don't think that's particularly useful. Let's go to the computer and you'll see what I mean. Now all of this is done underwater. You drive underwater and then you recover underwater. Now the salmon drill can be quite difficult to get, so when I do it I've changed it from its traditional base. What I'd like people to do is take a breath and then come back down and grab the water and kick, and then kick again as your arms exit. So you're trying to make a drive underwater with butterfly. Notice the hands are coming in underneath the body and pushing all the way back, and then you just recover underwater and take another breath and then come in and drive it back again. Let's just take a look at that. So he's coming in, getting into the catch position and driving back, keeping that body really flat by kicking forward. And you can see it's taking a breath, not a lot of his body's coming out the water, and he's back in. And that's the way to do the drill really well and to get really flat in the water doing fly. So we have three drills that are key to progression in butterfly. And the first one and most basic is that kicking drill, where you're having that 2-beat kick, 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 and you're continuing that time after time after time. Remember, you're rolling your shoulders and getting them back, rolling your shoulders and getting them back. That's the basis of all butterfly, and that really will do you good. Second drill, single arm. Remember, roll and drive the arm forward into that catch position and then drive it under the body. Breathe to the side, breathing to the front really is an advanced form of that drill. And then the salmon drill, where you're driving through and forward and just breathing with your chin on the surface, then coming back under again. Now that drill can take a little bit of time to get used to. So if you try it and can't quite get it, come back, have a look at the video, ask a question underneath, and I'll be happy to answer it. So please persevere with that. It's one of the best drills you can do. Okay, that's it for this week. Remember, if you really do want me to have a look at your stroke in any way, get me some good video. I'll create a Dropbox link for you. You can post the videos there. As long as I can use them in a video myself, I'm happy to look at them and get back to you. So thanks very much for watching. Keep well, have a lovely weekend. See you next week.